Hello, Yerba addicts, and today let's explore whether you can actually make money working as a freelancer on Upwork, a freelancer of any kind. And I'm not talking about any money. I'm talking money that can actually replace your average Joe job and can become your only source of income. A lot of people say oh, freelancing is the greatest thing ever. You have so much financial and freedom and how you work. You're so flexible, but the truth is totally different. So in this video, I'm gonna give you my top 5 arguments for making money on Upwork, and also I will give you 5 arguments against. So 5 arguments why it's not a good idea to go that direction, some things that are working against you, and some reasons why I would advise against it. And at the end of this video, I'm also give my personal verdict. Hi, this is Konrad, Yerba Addict, and first let's pour some Yerba for better life. Put on my hat, pour some good old, guys. This is perfect. So the number one thing that's working against you when it comes to Upwork is Upwork is not a well-run business. The reason I think so is one, when you look at the stock market, Upwork stocks have been going down since I think a couple of years, and there are no signs of really it picking up. For example, comparing it to Fiverr, which is the biggest competitor of Upwork, Fiverr has been on a especially since the coronavirus started, they have been on a kind of steep climb. Their market has been increasing, their value has been increasing. It's not the most important thing. Obviously, you can't read too much into stock market, but I think it's indicative of how much people believe in it, how much people invested it, how much people think it's a good company. They've been consistently implementing bad new rules. For example, this year they implemented the fact that you can't use Calendly, you have to use their own voice chat there. They've been adding more rules, you things you can't do and can't do. They're not making good changes to the system. For even recently, I have a friend who has an agency on Upwork, and for example, different clients of his who didn't leave rating, and one bad rating for $100 projects when he makes $1,000 projects, his rating dropped from 90 plus to 78 or something, and he lost his top rated status, and now he cannot really get good jobs anymore, and he doesn't rank high. So now an argument for making money on Upwork. So that's that it's easy. It's very, very easy to get started. So there's some people who complain that, hey, Upwork, there's cost of connects, but still, if you compare Upwork to any other way of starting a business, you will find yourself that it's really, really hard to normally at first, put up the website. There's a lot of cost involved. Then try to find a client, so do some form of maybe marketing, and then do kind of all the technical stuff behind. While on Upwork, it's kind of just a matter of getting through the screening, the initial screening. They only let people in that are kind of delivering services that there's more demand for than there's supply for. But I have a video from my friend, actually, you can watch it. You can have a link here where he goes through a process that you can use to actually get yourself approved by Upwork, and that's kind of easy. You just complete your profile, add the skills, add some portfolio. That can take you maybe a few days and almost no money, and then you just pay basically as you go. So you pay for the connects, and the connects I can give you the price here somewhere, what's the price of connects, but it's not too much, just to test things out and to get started. I think Upwork is one of the easiest, it has one of the lowest barriers to entry. So now an argument against. So I think you can't really make money if you compete on price. So because in the argument before, I said that it's very easy to get started, has a low barrier to entry, so it's easy for you to get in, it's easy for everybody to get in. So the most people there compete on price because there's people from all kinds of countries. So from US, and there's someone from India. For them, they don't need to earn $1,000 to be happy. They can earn $200. So you basically cannot compete on price. If you compete on price and try to deliver a service for cheaper than others, I think you will just get lost in the sea of freelancers, because most people are doing that. And two, you will just in the end won't make money because of fees and other things that we will get into in this video. So now argument 4. So the reason why you can make money is if you do Upwork research, so you figure out the supply and demand of Upwork, then because Upwork has its own economy, so like how you have in everyday world, you go into you there's like shops and there's things and there's restaurants for certain things and there's supply and demand. Like you go to a grocery shop and
hello, Mindy.
for example, in this moment in Poland, let's say, there is a big market for non-alcoholic beers. So the reason there is a big market because there is demand for it. So people want to buy it. And Upwork has a kind of a different economy, right? Like they have their own. So there's some type of clients that are looking for certain things more than others. And also for certain skills, they are willing to pay more. So for example, if you look at certain research that has been done, and also when I look through friends from that business group, most people who make money on Upwork and made it work are either in software development or in marketing, or it's kind of like copywriting, that stuff, but that's part of like marketing. So these are the two biggest groups that actually make money on Upwork. This is where there are the most amount of freelancers who actually make like thousands of dollars. And the reason for it is because there is more demand than there is supply, or at least for the people who do quality work. Next, Upwork has really high fees, and in the long run, this is gonna really eat up a lot of your profit, and that's why I think it's hard. That's why it's really hard, I think, to make money on Upwork in the long run, especially if you make smaller projects. Because if you look at it, it's in the page of Upwork. I will link it here. From $0 to $500, Upwork is taking 20%. Of your money you're getting from a client. So let's imagine the client pays you, $250. $50 goes to a client, and then also there's 3% processing fee for actually like transferring the payment. So you are left with less than $200. So when you add that up, you will quickly see how there like a lot of your margins are eating away, and you are not actually getting the money I want. So that's why it's even like a further point why you can't compete on price. Because imagine you put you sell things only for $100 and your time's worth $3 per hour. If you cut out the Upwork fees from your profit, then you are left with almost nothing. Now, argument 4, I think eventually, if you stick with Upwork long enough and you build up your profile, it can become a passive asset. And what I mean by passive asset, it's something that kind of could earn you money while you sleep. Eventually, when you build up your profile enough and you stand out and become like kind of the group of maybe top 5%, top 10%, top 1% of freelancers in your category, you will get quite a lot of job invites. So you will not have to apply anymore. You will get the job invites to you, because there is also quality clients there who know how to filter out. There's also the premium clients. Upwork customer service finds the right freelancers for them for the job they're looking for. And if you're one of the top freelancers and it's in their budget, they will send you an invite. Since a few months, I've been getting quite a lot of invites. It's true that a lot of them might not be relevant and I don't want to do, but still, eventually you can build it to become a kind of your asset, where it's getting you leads, so it's getting you interested customers, and then you don't really have to do anything. The next up is that I think if you live in a shitty time zone, it's gonna be really hard for you on Upwork. So from my experience, I'm now in Europe. I stayed in Asia. And I've been on Upwork for more than a year, and I see that most clients that are willing to actually pay money are from either US. The US is like the big majority, and then there is some UK and Australia. but majority is US. So for example, if you are in the Southeast Asia time zone, it's gonna be really a pain in the ass for you to one, apply to proposals on time. And second, it's also really tough to schedule the calls, and some clients even are kind of against it because they know it's gonna be kind of pain to deal with when you have let's say 10 hours of difference. It's gonna be really hard to communicate on the project because there's a lot of time difference. If you are in Europe, it's fine. If you're in the US time zone or somewhere else, like if you live in South America, Central America, I think it's a lot better argument for it. So I don't really recommend Upwork if you are in the time zone like Southeast Asia. I was there and it was pain in the ass, and in the long run it's gonna, I think, just burn you out. So next up, an argument for, I think if you can transform it into eventually transform it into a business and make it one of a few other ways that you actually are getting clients, then I think it's, so on the other hand, if you plan to rely on it as the only thing and only become like a freelancer, I wouldn't recommend it. So this one is kind of yes and no. Yes, if you are able to get started and eventually transform it into business. And what I mean by business is that you actually offer a complete solution. You are not responsible for everything in your business. So maybe you have someone doing some part of the delivery, so doing some part of the service, or you have someone that does some admin or project management, stuff like that. So you don't have to do everything. And then you can find a second way to get clients, maybe LinkedIn, or maybe some paid ads or something else. And Upwork is just one of ways to get clients, so you don't have to be overly reliant. Then I think it's a great way to have in your toolbox, because then you diversify and you have different ways, and because now economy and the whole world is kind of up and down, crashing, and the coronavirus and things are changing so fast, it's good to have like kind of a different places. So I think in that way it can be a yes, but it can be also a no if you can't do that. And my last no is that if you can't learn sales and managing expectations with clients, you will have a really hard time, and you will complain like most freelancers on the Reddit or on Facebook groups. And what I mean by learning sales and managing expectations is that, in my opinion, the only way to make money on Upwork is you actually get on calls with clients. You cannot sell via chat of anything that's above $100, because you cannot like present enough value to a client, like why he should pay. It's really tough to kind of stand out and show your expertise, know what you're talking about, understand the client's problem. And through that, you build like your value as the person doing the work. So when you can actually have a chat with them, then there's a lot higher chance that you can tell them, okay, this project is $1,000. If you write it in a chat, it's kind of not serious. And in my experience, I haven't made, I think, a single sale through Upwork through chat. And I know, and most people on the group, they also do sales calls in the group. And when I say managing expectations, is that you kind of have to frame your work with him in the right way. You have to frame it. It's not as you are this freelancer and he is the boss, because then freelancing will become a nightmare for you. It's just gonna be like a normal job. Instead of your boss, you will have a client, and there will be no difference. So the only way you can do it is when you learn sales, you learn to set boundaries right. You gotta kind of make him realize that, hey, you are not the next freelancer. You are a guy who knows what he's good at. He's an expert in this skill. And the cooperation will be like on the same level. And that's, I think, where most freelancers go wrong. They're kind of just like this passive, submissive people, where the client is the God Almighty, because they pay the money, and they, yes, I will do anything, sir, I will do anything for you, and then the project drags on, and then people complain like, hey, the client treats me like shit, and this and that. And the reason people do that is because you let them. But if you can learn sales, and that comes with practice and maybe some reading some books, maybe watching some videos. I have a couple recommendations. Just write me in the comments if you want, and I will try to send you something if you are struggling with that. So now that's it when it comes to this video from me. My personal verdict for you is that I think both Upwork and freelancing are a bit overrated now. I think some years ago it was kind of cool and a kind of new thing to work from home. Now more people are working from home and online, and Upwork has become bigger and bigger. But at the same time, if you can apply those things and do these things right, like I said, those arguments for, then I think you can make it work. And it has some advantages, like it's easy to get started. If you have the right skill, and if you are, for example, interested, especially for now, at software development and marketing, then you have a lot higher chance of earning money there and making it work, compared to if you want to, offer some Excel data entry or something like that, then I think it doesn't make sense. And this can change. Remember, I'm doing it for 2020. In 2021, the market can be different. People might need different things. People are willing to pay more for other jobs, other skills. The only problem I see is that Upwork is not a well-run business, so that's why I don't like it very much long-term, at least as it stands. I think Fiverr is a better way to go there. But then Fiverr has a completely different economy too, and I would say it's a lot more suitable for like small jobs that are low paid than like for some bigger projects. So I would say it's completely different. I will make a separate video on that. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if I can help in any way, guide you towards, let you know if maybe this is a good idea for you to try it or not, or if you have some other questions. I will make sure to respond to every single one of them. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.